This is theory. Because we are no longer doing the theory, we are done with the theory. Welcome. Yeah, we are done with the theory, we are no longer doing the theory now. But at this point, I'm expecting that we are all aware of the theories. The theories will help us to understand development, lifespan development. So I am hoping that at this point, we are able to understand a human being or a child in terms of the theories that we look at. Please make sure that you understand the theories. Go back and look at them and understand, because they are like the backbone of what we do in developmental. So we are no longer going to do the theories now, but my assumption is that because the last time I said look at this one and look at the theory. So my understanding is that we were able to do that, to look at this theory, the ecological theory. Last week when we did not meet, I said, go and write this note on this. Who was able to do that? Anyone who was able to? You were able to? Alright, just one out of 20 people. Not a good representation. Were you able to? Alright, but we were supposed to go and we had 2 hours of not learning, so I gave it as an exercise for you to go and write this note on the theory, because that was the last part of the theory. Now, we are moving on. For today, we are going to look at we're starting to look at the prenatal development and birth. We start looking at that, and then we have got the infancy, childhood, adulthood, as well as death and dying. So these are the topics or the modules that are left for us to do. Now, as I said earlier on, it's important that we understand the theories, because the theories will give us a background of what we are supposed to understand in these other modules. So it's important that we know the theories and we relate them to each stage. What we are doing now is we're going to focus on the stages before you were born up to the time that you die. Alright? So you are supposed to understand the theories and to relate them to each stage. At this particular stage, if we are on, for example, on infancy, what is the child going through and which particular theory is best explaining that particular stage. So we should be able to do that. Today we are going to look at the prenatal development and birth. So I think we can start with what I said we are just going to look at a minute. Alright. So in development psychology, we also look at prenatal development. It is very important for us to understand a human being before they were born to the point that they die. Because you guys are social workers, I always say you are social workers. So it's important that you understand a human being. So I think this one is going to be an exciting topic for us to discuss. I am assuming that we will be able to freely contribute, because we will be discussing things that we already know, things that we know. Maybe we have a background of biology in secondary school. So these are the things that we know. Our learning objectives, we are going to look at the end of this lesson. I am hoping that you'll be able to at least understand the prenatal influences in development. We are going to look at, specifically for this class, we are going to look at what are the stages of development. And then we'll also look at the introduction to heredity and environment. Then we'll look at birth. But for this, the 2 hours, we're just going to focus on the stages Now, before we start discussing prenatal development, let us firstly discuss the word prenatal. Alright? Let's firstly discuss the word prenatal. Anyone who has an idea of what that means? What is prenatal? Anyone? What are we going to be discussing for the 2 hours that we need? Alright, that is very true. So we'll be discussing development that occurs before a human being is born. What happens? So we'll look at the stages that a human being goes through before they are born. And then the second part is now to look at this itself, what happens during birth. So that is what we'll be looking at. It is more, this particular part is more, if you read the ecological theories, they talk about biology, how biologically they are made and how that influences you as a human being. So those theories is what we are going to discuss now. Biological being of a human being. How are you made into becoming a human being? We are going to understand that. So this is like a biology class. We take it as a biology class. We'll be looking at the images and all of that. So that's why I'm expecting each one of us to contribute to what we have got a background in biology. So this is more the biology. But remember development. Or developmental. So we should also be understanding it in that way. So thank you for your contribution. Prenatal is simply meaning occurring or existing before birth. We are looking at development before you are out of the womb or out of the matter. What happens before that? For you to be created. Now, for creation, do we know any theories of creation, how we were created? I think in history, in secondary in history, I think we learn about evolution, how a human being was created, or how humans were made. We look at evolution. What do those theories say about evolution, how we were created? We just go from up and down, part of it, or some of us, we know stories where we say we were born from a shop, isn't it? And now that we are that, we understand that no, it's not true. What do we understand about evolution? Let's begin from there. Anything that we understand about how we were created. Yes.
The evolution refers to gradual change. Yeah, specifically on this topic, gradual change of the human being. Yeah, so from the past, we are saying that there were 2 theories. Yeah, creation theory and evolution theory. The creation theory is where we are talking about God now, how God made us. The evolution theory is where now talking about Darwin, who investigated how human beings were created.
That is very true. That is a very good summary of what evolution, social creation is all about. So in history, in secondary school, I used to Charles Darwin, who talked about evolution. And then on the other side, better creation, how God created us. So I think it just depends on your belief, alright? What you believe, whether you believe Darwin or whether you believe the creation story, it's up to you. In development, we also look at how human beings are made. What's the explanation? How is it that we are here? So prenatal development is the growth of the single-celled zygote formed by the combination of the sperm and an egg with a baby. Now we have started mentioning words that we are familiar with. These are words that we mention in biology. We talk about eggs, we talk about the zygote, we talk about the sperm, we talk about an egg. And I know that we are all familiar. Anyone who is not familiar with this? We are all familiar with that. I am hoping, I am assuming that we all are familiar. So it is, when we're talking about prenatal development, we are talking about development before existing, before you were born. What happened for you to be created, alright? How did it happen? So that is what we are focusing on. So prenatal development focuses on how a single-celled zygote, in this case a zygote is also called an embryo, right? So a zygote and embryo is formed by the combination of, so it starts from, it means the journey of creation in development begins from the combination of the sperm and an egg, which forms a baby. So those are things that we focus on in development. We in biology there is a topic on reproduction, alright? Where we focus on reproduction of what happens, how is it that this happens. So it is those things that we learn in biology, they are what we are looking at. So where we have got there's the male reproductive organ created sperm. This sperm is pushed through an ovum into the ovary of the female, and then it gets fertilized. So there has to be fertilization at the beginning. Where the sperm and the egg, the ovary, there has to be fertilization, and then the fertilization is what leads to the creation of the zygote or an embryo. In this case, an embryo. So as I said earlier on, we're going to focus on what are the three stages that a zygote or an embryo goes through. Because that's what you're looking at the prenatal. We look at those three stages that an embryo or an egg, in other words, we say an egg or a cell, right? They are the same thing. Sometimes we say an egg, sometimes we say a cell, or sometimes we say an egg cell. So what happens? We understand that a human being, a male produces a sperm, then the female produces, the female has the ovary or the egg. But what happens for development to happen? So we look at the three stages that the egg and the sperm go through to be a full baby. Alright? So we start with the first stage, which is the germinal stage. That is the very first stage that we all go through. Forget about the storage where the tell us that you go into a shop and then you buy what, those are not. Alright? But of course, for the kids, we always say, you go into the shop and buy, right? When they ask questions. But for us, we should understand it from the first stage. This is the first stage that happens when in the journey of becoming a human being. So for you to be created, for you to develop, we need to start from somewhere, which is known as a germinal stage. The slides are already on the photo, alright? So if you go and check the prenatal, you can find the this one is so the journey of becoming a human being begins at conception. So we should remember the words that we're using. We're using words such as conception, zygote, the egg or the cell. Those are the words that we should be noticing, we should be taking note of. So it begins on conception. Now conception is when a sperm and an egg cell when the sperm and the egg cell unite to form a fertilized egg. The process of reproduction starts with the launching of an egg from the woman's ovaries into the fallopian tube. How many of us remember the reproductive system of the female? Do we remember that? That we have got the ovaries, we have got the fallopian tube, we have got the uterus. What else? What are some of the other things that we talk about? The cervix, right? What else? The what? The placenta. Now the placenta comes after the placenta comes, but it's just the normal one, right? We're just talking about the normal one. The placenta comes later when you're pregnant. But then we talk about, so that's the female reproductive system, and then we also have the male. So as the egg moves through the tube towards the uterus, it emits a chemical substance to sort of position. Alright, so that is just an explanation of what happens. Because the egg has to remember, for each and every woman, there's a process which is the menstrual cycle, alright? Where when the egg is not fertilized, it comes out when we go into the menstrual cycle, alright? But when it is fertilized, it doesn't, it gets implanted into the uterus. So what we are saying is we're just looking at the very beginning. This is the reproductive organ of the female, and the process of how, because the question is what we talked about conception. Conception is when the female and the female ovaries and the female egg and the male stem, they combine. But how does that happen? It is through sexual intercourse. So if an act of sexual intercourse takes place near the time it is believed conception would be possible. So we are starting with conception at the very beginning, where there is an act of sexual intercourse. You cannot get pregnant if you did go through the sexual intercourse. There has to be sexual intercourse, and the male has to release sex in order for fertilization to take place. So in this way, they're saying in this way, ejaculation, do you know what ejaculation is? So in this way, ejaculation, that is the release of the sperm, and many alternative million sperm comes into the woman's vagina. So imagine, for a single pregnancy, if it's just one baby, it means out of the 500 million sperms, only one sperm was able to fertilize the egg. So it must be like to be alive, right? Because out of the 500 million, it is only one sperm that was able to attach to the ovary and then fertilize it. The other ones, they all imagine how cool is that? It means that especially so, at every regulation, during the sexual intercourse, the 500 million sperms are coming into the vagina. After the sperms have been deposited into the vagina, they make their way into the uterus, into the fallopian tube, instead of ovarian. Alright? So it is like a marathon. It is a marathon, or sprinting, because I've seen a video where there's like a dramatization of what happens during the fertilization process, where all the sperms are rushing to go to one egg, and then when it attaches, when one sperm attaches to the egg, it gets fertilized. This is just an example of what I was saying. So there has to be, this is just the tube. There has to be a lot of them, with their eggs, and that's their eggs. So they have to rush immediately. 500 million things rushing to bring the country. So the one that attacks healthcare is the one that is prepared eggs. But then there are times when the eggs give independent that's when you get a multiple fertilization, where you get two babies. But in a normal circumstance, most of the time it is just one thing, one thing. The one that you take, the other one will die. It's a very special thing. So this is also just an image showing what happens, or just showing the female reproductive organ, explaining also the transition, what the transition, how the transition happens. So we can see the same oil fall into this area, the uterus, and the cervix through the vagina. So it goes the same travels from uterus into the fallopian tube. So for the ladies, we understand that there was the two fallopian tubes. So each fallopian tube, there's an egg which is attached. When that egg is released and it doesn't need any sperm around, it's called, it comes out as menstruation. But when it is released and then it needs the sperm, it gets fertilized and it becomes a human being. So we have got the sperm, the uterus, the fallopian tube, ovulation happens, and then there's an ovary. Inside an ovary is where the egg is found. I think this one is much, this explains it is much clearer. So we have got from day one, what happens from day one up to the terminal stage is just the very first days of what happens when the sperm meets the egg. So those are just the 2 days of what happens if the egg meets the sperm to the point of implantation into the uterus. What happens during that time? So we are looking at that particular stage of fertilization and implantation. So for example, we have got this beautiful picture which is showing the reproductive system, where we have got the first day where we have the egg which is fertilized. The egg has been fertilized, it means the egg has mixed with a sperm and then it has been fertilized. So that is the one. As the egg gets fertilized, it starts moving through the fallopian tube, but because of the cell division, it starts breaking into several other cells. So on day 2, on day 2, you will notice that there are 2 cell segments. Then you notice that the cells, they break into 4. They break into a lot, 8, and then the process happens over and over again. Once the cell has been fertilized, it is one, but it starts getting multiple cells. Those multiple cells are indicating that a human being is being made. Alright? So it is one, it starts with a single cell, but that single cell starts breaking into multiple cells, meaning a human being has started developing. The cells in the end are what form a baby, a good baby in the end. For my one we have got one egg, which is fertilized, and then later on the egg starts dividing into cells, into 2, into 4, into 8, and then a lot of other cells. To the point that it reaches the uterus. It keeps on breaking, the cell keeps on breaking to the point that it reaches the uterus. And until it is implanted to the uterus. Alright? Until it is implanted, then that means a baby has been formed. So basically the first stage of the development of prenatal is you look at the time that the sperm and the sperm and the egg to the point when the egg is implanted into the uterus. The moment the cell has been implanted here on the uterus, it means a baby has been formed. We call it an embryo. We call it that. So this is what the picture is showing. Now what I've been explaining is what is here. What is on this picture is what is on here. So 72 hours after fertilization, if the red cell turns into 72 cells and then it's the form. So after fertilization, the cell starts dividing, just like we saw here. Now after fertilization, the cell starts dividing through a process which is called a cell division. So it starts dividing, indicating that it has been fertilized and the baby or the embryo is in the process of being formed. So it continues to divide up until it forms more than 800 billion, imagine more than 800 billion cells. Alright? Those cells are what makes a human being. So for the cells, we will see that the cells are going to break into more than 800 billion or more. So the cells are what forms the different parts of the human being. Alright? In the process of the cell division, the fluid filled egg or the blastocyst starts moving down from the fallopian tube to the uterus. So as it has been fertilized, and then it starts breaking, it starts moving down through the fallopian tube to the uterus. And then we are saying the edges of the blastocyst form an embryonic cyst. It is a thickened shell mass from which a baby develops over the course of 28 weeks. So basically, what we are saying is, what is here is what is happening, what has been summarized on this particular image, where we are saying the cell is going to get fertilized and then it is traveled through the fallopian tube. As it is traveling through the fallopian tube, it is traveling in a more fluid-like path. Alright, and it gets attached to the uterus. So when it gets attached to the uterus, then it starts differentiating. It starts breaking. The cells, the 800 cells that have been 800 and more plus cells that have been created, they now start breaking or differentiating. They start forming a human being. So in the first stage, the germinal stage, those cells will now turn into two layers. They will break, they will differentiate. The cells are not starting, they will start forming an embryo, a full embryo or a full baby. So they will break into, for example, they will start turning into male layer teeth. Alright? It means what comes first when you are being created, what comes first is the hair, the nails, the hair and teeth. Alright? And then the other side that is going to form the outer layer of skin and nervous system. So those 800 billion or more cells that are formed, they now become two things. Alright? They now become two things. The first part that becomes your hair, your nails, and your teeth. That is more like your upper body is formed. Then it also gets into your nervous system, your this body, the lower body. It means at this point, you don't have the legs, the hands, and the legs. Alright? At this point, what is formed is only the head and the lower body, the nervous system. So it's this part and this part that is formed from the first stage. Then after that, there is now the embryonic stage, where now the cell that has been created, the human-like creature that has been created in the first stage, is now starting to look like now a full embryo. At this stage is where now a lot of other parts develop. So when I did that, it was just this upper part and the lower part that developed. But at this stage, stage number 2, it's now other parts of the body are being created. So during this stage, the cells divide further. Remember, we are saying the cells are going to divide. They are going to divide. Two cell division, they will be divided. So at this stage now, during this stage, the cells divide and begin to differentiate into bone, muscle, and body organs. So on stage number 2, that is now when there will be the development of bone, giving you the structure that you are using. For the first part, it was just the upper body and this nervous system and nothing. But in stage number 2 now, you have now bones that are giving you the structure, the nervous system has got bones, so they get created. And then the muscle which is the skin and other organs, they get created at this particular stage. So this particular stage is between 2 to 8 weeks of conception. Alright? It's between 2 to 8 weeks of conception. It is also at this particular stage where the embryo will be attached to the uterus. It is fully attached to the uterus and it is a full embryo at 2 to 8 weeks. So the first stage, this is the germinal stage, the very first stage, and this one are the most important stages in development. Because at this point, the body parts, the crucial body parts are developing. Right? So it is the most important stage in the prenatal development, because at this particular stage is when you get a full embryo, when you get a human-like being. When you deal with that, the first stage, it doesn't look like a human being. Alright? It doesn't look like really a human being. But at this particular stage, at stage number 2, the embryonic stage, that's when you get a full embryo. At 2 months, that is when you get a full embryo. A full-term baby is going to stay in their mother's womb for 38 weeks. 38 weeks, that's like 9 months. That's when it is. So between 2 to 8 weeks, the germinal stage is just a few days, a few hours, a few days. But for the embryonic stage, it's 2 weeks to 8, which is about 2 months when the pregnancy is about 2 months. That's where now you develop a full baby and they get attached to the uterus. During this period, 3 layers of the cell are differentiated. So it means the process of development is continuing. At stage number 2, the process of development is continuing. Remember, at the very beginning, it was just the head and the nervous system that developed. But here, on stage number 2, there is the outer layer, the middle layer, and the inner layer. So at stage number 2 is a full embryo. Alright? A full embryo or a full zygote. When we are saying the outer layer, what we mean is it means the sensory skin is developing at this particular stage. That's where you develop your skin. That's where you develop your inner, the middle carries the blood, the urinary system, as well as the muscle. And you also develop the inner layer, the inside part, where now you are getting the digestive system and the life. So this stage is also very crucial. Alright? It is at this stage where doctors are able to know if a human being is fully developed or not. They are able to understand whether you have got any particular defect or not, whether you don't have legs, whether you don't have, because we have never seen people without legs, right? Without legs or legs that haven't fully developed. We have never seen people without maybe hands or that haven't fully developed. It is at this stage. There are factors that are going to affect the embryo. Now, if the embryo is affected at this stage, that's when you see a human being being born, maybe without this guy, the one that doesn't, someone who's born without legs, they don't have the hands and they don't have the legs that they have the legs. So it is at this stage where that happens. That is when the doctors are going to know if you are going to be born with the full legs, if you are going to be born with 2 hands or 2 legs. But otherwise, if there have been other complications, it happens that a baby is born without those things. So this is where the embryo is going to develop. The outer layer, the skin is fully developed, the middle layer is fully developed, and also the inner layer, which is the digestive system, and then everything that is inside is developed at stage number 2. Alright, so after 2 months of pregnancy, all the vital parts of the body cells and kidneys start moving the way to that. The facial features become clear, and this is by this time. So after the 2 months, that's when now you're able to see that this embryo has got eyes and maybe the nose is developing. It is at this particular stage. The head is half of the body size now. So usually, because the very first stage, it is the upper body that is going to develop. Usually, at the second stage, the head is larger than the rest of the body. Okay? So that's why I'm saying the head is half of the body size now, because it is the very first thing that gets created. So at this particular stage, the head is bigger than the rest of the body. This is the time when most miscarriages occur and when most major birth defects occur. So at this point, it is the time when there are a lot of miscarriages because the embryo is getting attached, is getting permanently attached to the uterus, but maybe because of other problems or other complications, then there are miscarriages that happen. But also, as I was saying, major birth defects. That's where they are able to see whether the baby is going to be born a full baby with 2 hands or 2 legs. It is at this point where they check. So they can also check whether the lips are fully formed or they are not, if there is a closed palate. If you have ever seen maybe adverts where they are advertised or they say putting a small bag where they close the palate is the upper lip. So there are other babies that are born, it is split, right? So it is at this particular stage where they are able to check whether the lip is fully developed or it is not. They will also check whether it's incomplete or missing the lips, that is the hand and the legs. They can also check for blindness, whether the eyes have been formed, or deafness, whether the ears have been fully formed. So it is at this particular stage number 2 is a crucial one, because at that particular stage, the baby is now fully developing. processing. So at the end of the embryonic stage, the organism has developed a number of body organs such as the heart. So now it's like a full-term embryo. It has fully developed. That's why we say the heart. The embryo is only about 4 centimeters long, but already has the beginnings of major body organs and limbs and begins to look somewhat human. Have we ever seen pictures, images of the first 2 stages? So this is like forward, that is the material stage. Alright? Where you have started and you can see the hands, you can see the legs, you can see the head, and something like that. Then, so you can see that it's different, alright? And we are growing in. So the very first week, the week of implantation, none of that is there. None of that, you don't see any shape. All you see is the cells. But later on, after the 2 months, in the second stage, that is between the 2 to 8 weeks, that's when now you start seeing the cell is now developing into a human-like creature. When we know it doesn't look like a human creature, it looks like a white rat. That's what it looks like a human being. Alright, and then we have this final stage. So we have got the first stage, the terminal stage. Then we have got the second stage, which is the embryonic stage, where now it's a full embryo. And we have got the last stage, which is the fetal stage, or we call it the fetus. Alright, at this point, it means the life has begun. It is looking more like a baby. So 2 months after conception, the fetal stage begins. The fetal, which is meaning offspring or young man. The fetal stage, which is the third stage in the prenatal development, begins 2 months after conception and lasts until birth. So the moment the second stage is done, it's the fetus. Now we call it the fetus. So as you notice, you will notice the transition of the name. When we start with an egg or a cell, then that egg transforms into an embryo, right? It's an embryo. From an embryo, it becomes a fetus. Those are 3 steps that are different. So you should take note of that, where we start with the egg and how the name changes when it is born. By this point, the mass of cells is now called the fetus. Limbs become often detached and heartbeats that relate to a state of school. So that's when now you can go to the doctor for a prenatal visit. You can hear actually the heartbeat if you go to do a checkup. So that's the stage, the last stage, which is the fetal stage. Alright, so everything that has developed at the very beginning, where we were developing the legs and the what, the nervous system, the digestive system, it is at this point where they now start maturing. We can now see a full baby, like a full human being developing. So it starts from 2 months up to the very end of the pregnancy. But until the end of the so the fetus, usually the fetus with lower weight at this particular point, if the fetus has got lower weight, the chances of survival are low, very low. Weight, if it weighs heavier, then it survives. So that is why we encourage good nutrition for mothers. So during stage 2 and stage 3 of of prenatal development. The developing organism is especially vulnerable to toxic agents and chemicals. So on stage 2 and stage 3, because already most of have already developed. The heart, the liver, the skin, the brain, the blood, they have developed. It is at this point where the fetus is more vulnerable to agents, where things like alcohol, things like chemicals, they are not allowed because they are going to. Because at this point, the fetus is more vulnerable. So it's important to keep out because they are harmful to the embryo. So another thing that maybe we talked about was, we talked about the placenta, that the baby is attached to the placenta. So in the mother's womb, there is also the placenta. Let's go back to the Alright. So there's also the placenta about where you have the umbilical cord. The umbilical cord is attached to the placenta and the placenta attaches itself to the uterus. Alright? Are we able to see? Or to see and have the picture of what's going on? So we have got the fetus. At this stage, the fetus is going to be. Then you have got the uterus. The uterus is the womb where the child is going or the baby is going to stay on the fetus. But if you can see, this fetus has got a umbilical cord. The cord that is distributed to eating the blood-brain nutrients and everything else. The waste nutrients, they go to the umbilical cord. But this umbilical cord, I think, is itself with the placenta. The placenta is the one that attaches to the uterus. So let's talk about the placenta, what it is and what it do. So the placenta is very important. It is an organ that connects the blood supply of the mother to that of the fetus. So it is a very important. Actually, during when the baby is being born, the placenta also goes out. Alright? So the first thing to come out is the baby, and the second, the placenta is like the second thing to go out. There are some people who use the placenta or use to other things. Alright, so the placenta is an organ that connects the blood supply of the mother to that of the fetus. It is really important. It protects the baby from infections or abortion. It also produces hormones that support the pregnancy. It prepares the mother for lactation because the baby is going to breastfeed. There is going to be a breastfeed as well, right? So the placenta also prepares the body of the mother for lactation. Placenta is a fluid-filled sac that protects the baby and gives a place for moving around. It also acts like a filter, allowing oxygen and nutrients to pass through while keeping out some toxic substances. So everything that goes into the baby's body, it goes through the placenta and the filter. So there is a uterus here, it goes through the placenta and travels through the umbilical cord into the body, the baby's body. Even when the baby wants to take out waste, the waste are going to go through the umbilical cord, the cord that attaches the baby to the mother. The placenta is connected to the umbilical, is connected to the embryo by an placenta, which is very important. That's where nutrients but it should also take note of the umbilical cord. The one that attaches to the baby and then it attaches to the placenta. Well, there's a head of solid or something like that, right? That's what culturally is all about. Something like that. So that's the one that attaches to the baby and then it attaches to the placenta. So that's where the nutrients, the food is going to travel. That's where even the waste from the baby is going to travel. Alright, and then so a placenta is like a filter. It is going to filter whatever goes in, whatever goes out. Unfortunately, it doesn't filter chemicals. Alright? It doesn't filter chemicals or other medications that it uses. It doesn't filter that. So that's why you can advise not to drink alcohol if you're pregnant, not to drink alcohol if you're pregnant, don't drink it if you're pregnant, don't stay in areas where there is a lot of people smoking because the placenta is not able to, it is a soft tissue, so it is not able to filter that. So waste products such as carbon dioxide, urea, from the fetus cross the placenta in the opposite direction and are removed from the mother blood stream by the mother. So the waste products are going to travel through the umbilical cord placenta into the mother system. So it is the mother that is going to take out through the normal process of how a human being takes out the waste. Because maybe there are times when we ask ourselves, now how is it that we do this? What happens that the baby is prepared to how is it that we able to do something like that, right? We maybe ask ourselves the question, how is it that the baby is able to do that inside the other? But all of that happens through the umbilical cord and through the placenta. Any questions? Where we must understand? Please take note of the tense that we are using. Alright? Important that even when you're explaining, you should be able to use that thing. For example, we are using, as I said earlier on, we are using the word egg, that is during observation. Then we have used the word embryo, that is after the and now we're using the word fetus. So it's important that we also take note of this particular case. Alright, so like I said earlier on, that unfortunately the placenta is, they call it the permeable, alright? It is a soft tissue. Unfortunately, it is not able to do with other things. Things that are going to be harmful to the child or the unborn baby, it is not able to do that. So if you're taking drugs during pregnancy, nicotine, caffeine, marijuana, heroin, and then for viruses such as the HIV, it is not able to do that because it is very human. It is very soft and very human. Alright, so all those agents, all those things that are harmful to the baby are referred to as the steroids. The things, all those things, or the chemicals and everything, the agents that are harmful to the baby are known as steroids. So a steroid is like any agent that can harm the developing fetus. So be it the chemicals, be it the viruses or the bacteria, whatever is going to harm the baby. So that is why the mother, the pregnant mothers are advised to be very careful at this stage. Because whatever happens to the mother is going to affect the child. However, we should also know that there are other sicknesses that are hereditary, alright? That you inherit through the pregnancy. You can inherit other viruses or other cells. So that is medical. You find that there's a disease that is common in one family because those are inherited to the pregnancy. So unfortunately, the placenta is not able to do that. Alright? So we find that other diseases that we have is because each and everyone in our family has. Because those who are there. Another part that we should also look at is the amniotic part. The amniotic part. So there's the placenta, there's the umbilical cord, the amniotic part. Now that is like a valve where the baby is going. It's a protective outer layer, right? It's a protective outer layer where the baby is in a sac of its own, in a bag of its own, and then attached to the placenta, attached to the uterus. So the baby is protected using the amniotic sac. So it is also very important. It is a watery fluid, so it contains the exact watery fluid, and the fetus is going to float in the water for the rest of the 8 weeks that the baby is inside the water. It's going to float in the water. Without the water, the baby is not to survive. Alright? The baby is not going to survive. And then there are times when the baby drinks the fluid in the amniotic sac, that also has the complication. Alright? So the way maybe there are things that we can explain biologically, but then there are things that maybe we will not be able to understand. How is it that the baby is not able to stay in the water? Alright? For the 8 weeks that the baby is in the water. But the amniotic sac is a very thin layer that is outside the baby. So for the baby to come out, the amniotic sac has to be open. Without that, the baby will not come out. So it acts as a protective buffer for the developing fetus in the world, such as providing it with a relatively even temperature and cushioning it against joints. Also, because the fetus is floating, it can exercise its tiny wet muscles relatively unhampered by the physical. So, in short, the amniotic sac is just there as the protective buffer, it just protects the child. But inside the amniotic sac, there is fluid. The fluid has to be there up to the very end of the pregnancy. It has to be there. So this is just what we have been talking about. Where we have now, so the fetus is big. You can see the head, you can see the hand, you can see the leg, the umbilical cord, the placenta, all of that you are able to see. Are there any questions, comments, or something that you understand?